Yes, good morning, Lauren. House Republicans are taking this a step further, signing civil arrest warrants to forcibly return the Democratic lawmakers to the chambers. But political science experts tell us those warrants can only be enforced on state lines, and the Democratic lawmakers are spread out across the country. House Democrats have essentially stalled all business from continuing during the governor's special session. Governor Greg Abbott has threatened removal from office and even felony charges for those who are absent. Now, for each day a lawmaker breaks quorum, that's a $500 fine. The governor's mentioned felony bribery charges for Democrats who accept money from donors to pay those fines. Matthew Wilson is a political science professor at SMU. He says that might not move the needle on getting Democrats back in the House chambers.
There could be warrants issued for their arrest on charges of felony bribery. Then they could make extradition requests to these out-of-state law enforcement jurisdictions. Now, the reality is that the Illinois state government is not going to cooperate with those extradition requests in all likelihood. I mean, they have been given safe harbor by these Democratic governors in places like Illinois and Massachusetts and New York.
Democrats left the state before debate on a redistricting bill was scheduled to start. The Trump administration is pushing for the legislature to redraw the state's congressional voting maps. That's to add 5 more Republican seats. This could impact representation in North Texas, Austin, Houston, and South Texas. Democrats are concerned the new maps would silence minority voices. Now, Governor Abbott ordered the Texas Department of Safety to locate and arrest the absent lawmakers. He says the order will remain in effect until each member returns to the Capitol. For Good Day, I'm Peyton May.
And Lauren, this was a crash where a truck was heading in the wrong direction at 80 miles an hour and slammed head-on into a family's passenger car. The truck driver is now facing 6 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Our cameras were rolling when the driver of the truck, Letitia Wilson, took field sobriety tests last week. Police say she admitted to driving the wrong way on Laurelland Road in southeast Oak Cliff, going 80 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour zone. 3 adults and 3 children, ages 4, 8, and 11, were in the Mazda that was hit. According to an arrest warrant, Wilson said she was driving the wrong way because a man was following her. Police say that man admitted to following Wilson to flag her down because he said she earlier hit his vehicle and sped off. We spoke with a neighbor who heard the accident and was there for the immediate aftermath.
This lady kept saying somebody was chasing her, and we're kind of like, oh, we don't believe this guy had to be chasing her, because why would he still be there if he caused this accident with that?
The driver that Letitia Wilson said was following her has not been charged with any crime, and police say the charges against Wilson do not involve being under the influence. The father driving the Mazda, meanwhile, has a broken back, according to the affidavit. Several occupants had severe lacerations, and one of the kids in that Mazda was said to be going in and out of consciousness. Reporting live, Dallas Police Headquarters, Dan Godwin on Good Day.
Copper theft is a growing problem across the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
AT&T says Texas now ranks 3rd highest in copper theft incidents across its nationwide network. Fox 4's Alex Boyer live at Dallas Police Headquarters with a look at how you can help. Alex.
Hey guys, and keep in mind, this really isn't a victimless crime. Each time copper wiring is stolen, it often leads to outages both with phones as well as internet services for consumers like you and me, as well as businesses. It's an increasingly bold crime that's causing problems nationwide. Crooks like this guy cutting through telecommunication lines in order to steal the costly copper hidden inside.
When these events happen, it takes our customers out of service. They don't have access to their phone, they don't have access to their internet, They don't have access to 911, emergency services.
I spoke to Alicia Remick, the vice president of construction and engineering for AT&T, inside one of their Dallas buildings that houses network infrastructure. It's been broken into at least a dozen times. Surveillance video shows a thief hook a chain up to a truck to rip a rear access door open. Once inside, he stole copper lines that feed the generators. AT&T also shared several photographs that show where copper wiring has been stolen from utility pole lines all across North Texas. This is what one of those copper wires looks like. The protective coating on the outside is of no value to the crooks. It's what's on the inside that's of value. All of this is copper wiring, and it gets about $5 a pound in the open market. And it's happening underground, too. How much are they getting out of a manhole like this?
Well, they're actually taking several hundred feet at a time.
Miguel Flores is a cable splicer with AT&T in Dallas. Flores says the copper thieves are now accessing manholes, some that run 20 feet deep, in order to rip the copper wiring from hidden lines.
These manholes are full of toxic fumes. Anybody that goes in there without the proper equipment and training, for that matter, could essentially not come back.
What an endeavor it is to have to keep replacing this kind of stuff.
Right. So copper is not something that's readily available. It has to be ordered, and every time that this happens, it's becoming more and more difficult for AT&T to source this copper to replace the service that's been interrupted.
And AT&T is hoping that by making the public aware, they will report these types of crimes to local police departments like DPD. Of course, AT&T also offering a reward of $10,000 for any information that ultimately leads to an arrest. Back to you.
All right, Alex Boyer in Dallas. Thanks.
Well, lightning might be to blame for a fire that destroyed a home in Waxahachie this morning. Fox 4's Dan Godwin was out at that fire today and spoke to a homeowner about the frightening moments for her and her elderly mother.
We're on Pierce Street in Waxahachie. It was about 6 o'clock this morning when a lightning strike hit this house and sparked what became a large fire. The exterior walls of the home are still standing, but the roof is gone, and from what we can see, the interior has extensive fire damage. A viewer sent us video of the fire when it was at its peak this morning. When the lightning struck and the flames broke out, there were two people inside, Faye Kimbrough and her elderly mom, who relies on portable oxygen. Both of them managed to get out safely. Faye's mom was examined by EMTs at the scene. Thankfully, neither one suffered any injuries.
When the strike hit, I just heard something hit, but I didn't think it was my home. And then so once I just started smelling something, and then I went and grabbed my mom and told her our house has to be on fire. Then a neighbor came from 2 blocks over to tell us to get out of the house.
Faye told us the house is insured and that the company has already made arrangements for temporary housing. Faye also said that firefighters have told her when it is safe to do so, she can enter what remains of the home and see what, if anything, can be salvaged. Reporting in Waxahachie, Dan Godwin, Fox 4 News.